And we're live.
We're live.
You ready? And I'm going to start. Ready? Performance on Demand Podcast, number 39. You know, you got to start the recording on your recorder. All right, here goes. Performance on Demand Podcast, number 39. In
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Performance on Demand Podcast with Craig and Jeremy, where you will learn all things endurance sports from training and nutrition to mental strength. Everything you need and want to know in one place.
Welcome, everyone, to Performance on Demand Podcast. I am your host, Craig Willard, along with birthday boy Jeremy Brown over there on the YouTube, on the Google Hangouts.
On the Hangout.
What's up? What's up, man?
It's like a cat face in
So we're still playing with Google Hangouts. As if you listen to the last podcast, or actually, I guess the last two, we have started to publish live chats, our podcast, through Google Hangouts, so that you can actually find these on YouTube. So you're going to find a little bit before before the actual podcast starts, and as well as behind the scenes, what Jeremy and I do to each other. We kind of
there's some goodies before and after.
Yeah, and so Jeremy's sitting here playing with some of the effects of Google Hangouts. He has tons of masks on right now. He's a kitty cat that's in the water.
Meow.
And that makes a lot of sense.
Meow.
Anyway, what's up, Jeremy?
Another day, man. It's I was gonna actually bring it up and say I kind of like this one though. I guess I was going to hop right into today's episode, actually, without going into much other stuff. But I'm kind of excited about it because we've attempted it once. I had a power outage, so
yeah, we had to start all over again.
We're back at it, but I think it's cool because it's real, and that's the thing today. We're going to get into more of I guess us personally, because it's hard to take me seriously. Remember this clown mask.
It really is.
This whole entire time we've got people get to know us through this podcast, but we don't really ever talk about ourselves, and we really don't ever talk about our services. Like, people know,
sure. Right.
but it's like, who is Craig, who is Jeremy? And so we decided it'd be kind of cool to do just a couple short podcasts of basically a Q&A type thing. And it's the last one started off real fun because it really makes me think
who he is. This is who he is.
Who he bees.
And
so, there's that.
Well, that's the genuineness of this podcast, and that's the premise we put behind the structure to create Performance on Demand. It is not your everyday podcast. It is fun. It's kind of entertaining. The intent is to be entertaining. We're entertained. I sure hope
By
that
each
you
other.
are. We have a ton of fun. But we say stupid things and get across a ton of information, which is very valuable, we feel, to that of the endurance athlete, but also to other people just in life. I mean, I put so much life coaching stuff into this podcast, but the point of this is to give it, we don't want to give this away. And of course, if you want to work with us later and in a much deeper scenarios for specific issues and whatnot, that's why we have a business. But this is really kind of giving you all a ton of information, which is really kind of at times heavy. So we're balancing it out with some things here about us. So we get to ask Jeremy a bunch of questions. They're unscripted, and he doesn't know what's coming, although he does know two of them because we did them on the last podcast, which he destroyed. It's your fault. It's your fault.
Apparently, they decided to do some work on the local internet service. I mean, because obviously most people are home during the day.
Sure.
So I guess it would be a low time to do it, but it's inconvenient when you're a small business owner and at home working during the day. So
totally.
We're back in full effect for now. We'll see. Hopefully this one can go a little bit longer than the last one.
Sure. No doubt. Okay, so let's ask some questions. What do you think about that?
Let's get it. Game. Fancy pants.
If you had a chance to do your life over again, Jeremy Brown, what would you do differently?
I would do nothing differently. I believe that the path that I walked down to this point has me stand in this exact place on my journey of life. And so I believe that all the decisions, both good and bad, I've made in the past have led me to where I'm at now and in the position I'm at, doing what I'm doing, living where I'm living, a truly, truly loving life, And so for me, there's like I've said before, there's no regrets. I don't regret anything I've ever done. I'm sorry for things that I've done that were stupid or the hell I put my mom through, but and my dad. But I don't regret any of it because it's shaped me and kind of molded me into who I am today.
It sounds like you use those as lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. Every one of them. Just like we talked on our last podcast about failures and being more of an opportunity, and that's. I've never failed in my life. I've been provided with a shit ton of opportunities. Some of the opportunities I've taken advantage of, some of the opportunities I have not. And so, right. But you live and you learn and you just keep going day to day and you try to be a better person tomorrow than you are today, which is the exact way that people should actually approach their training as well.
Agreed. All right. What do you feel most proud of?
Most proud, obviously, would be my children, without a doubt, kind of who they are, the little people they're becoming. But if I step back and I'm just isolating me in this conversation, I am probably most proud of a couple of different things, and it would be like personality traits. I think tenacity is one. I think that I approach every situation, and it's burned me a few times, but I approach every situation thinking there's something good that can come out of it. Whether it's a person, whether it's a situation, whether it's an opportunity that I have created by being a dumbass, then, I approach it and say, okay, what can I do with this? So I guess I'm most proud of my openness and ability to kind of try to make the best out of everything. Because sometimes we do wind up in shitty situations.
Yep.
And you're not judged by the shitty situation you're in, I believe. You're judged by how you react and how you come out of that shitty situation. Which for me was mostly self-inflicted.
And you're proud of being self-inflicted.
Absolutely. That's where I've learned. I'm telling you, I learned years ago about myself that I learned best the hard way. I have to touch, I have to do. You can tell me that pan's hot. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to say, oh shit, that pan is hot.
It's real hot.
That's the way that I learned the best. And
I think we all do.
Yeah, and that's something that I've tried to pass off to my kids is that freedom to learn things as they go, and I think it's something to also shape them into being good little shitheads.
They're good kids. They're good kids. What do you want your tombstone to say?
It's funny you should mention that. I've had this conversation a few times. I don't want a tombstone, actually. I prefer to be cremated, and I want to be put somewhere where my kids or whoever wants to come see me can come see me. But I want to be more of a thing than an object. I want to be kind of more of a persona, if you will, or like an ambiance than an actual like thing that packs negative emotion. Because to me, when you see a tombstone, it brings forth, for me anyway, it brings forth negative emotions. Like, oh, they're gone. I don't have them here. Sure. Whereas if my ashes are spread at the top of a mountain, the kids can go up there, and when they get to the top, they can say, fuck you for making me hike this far.
Right.
But they could be up there and kind of be in the moment with me, knowing that I'm there around them. So, but if I did have a tombstone, it would say, I effing did it. Like, that's all I made it. I effing did it. Like, whatever it is, I did it. Like, I always think
you really have. Well, what have you done? I mean, you've been in the military.
What have I not done?
What else? You were a fisherman?
Yeah, I was a quote unquote professional bass angler for a few years. I worked in chemical plants doing non-destructive testing. I helped manage a $1 million lawn care company. I worked for a TV station. I worked for Cop Cycling. I worked for BSX. I have no collegiate or educational background. I joined the military at 17 and learned a lot of stuff the hard way. I like to think of myself as a jack of all trades, master of none type of thing, as to where I I have a lot of skill sets doing different things that are probably insignificant, but it's kind of cool. I'm not a specialist in any regard, which which I believe helps to make me a better coach and a better father and a better person, because I have a wide variety of experience along the journey. So
very good. Very good.
What have I not done is probably more of the question.
What was one of your most defining moments in life?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
See, this is one of the questions where you didn't know these.
Yeah. I can't prepare for these. I think for me, it was learning that I was going to be a father at a very young age. I was 19, 20. I was 20, and figuring out what the hell that was, and you could probably relate. You're a little older when you had yours, but it's like, oh shit, you mean somebody else is going to rely on me for their everyday existence?
Yeah.
I can't even wipe my own ass all the time, much less. So for me, I think it was taking it with my normal, hopefully my normal ability to take it in stride and learn from it and make something out of it. And, I had my kids this weekend. My oldest daughter, she'll be 11 here on the 31st. And we were talking, and I got to reflect, and I was like, holy shit, 11 years ago? I am so not the person I was 11 years ago, but she's developed into this little human. She's become a very good friend that's responsible and mature. And so for me, it was learning how to be a father. I believe that people are born with the ability to be a parent, but they don't always maximize that opportunity. And for me, it was making the best out of what I had for my kids. It's probably my defining moment to this point in my life.
Very, very good. You can tell it means a lot to you.
So does beer. They're not on the same level, obviously.
Right.
Totally discredited everything I just said. Compared my kids to beer. Damn it.
Why did you choose this profession?
Oh God, I think it chose me. Honestly, I don't believe I chose it. I have a passion for helping people, and you and I have discussed this in my own, and to a fault at times. I'm a helper. I'm a fixer. If I see a problem, I'll solve it. I want you to check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. And so I'm a fixer, and so for me, it's very. And it's something I'm learning as I'm becoming an athlete again, because I took quite a while off or away from the sport of actually competing. I have to fall back in love with the process of me being an athlete, but my success comes from my athletes' success. I don't care about my own accomplishments. And so for me, I'm a giver. I love to provide people the opportunity to do things they don't think they can do, or maybe they think they can do, they just don't know how to do. And so I believe initially coaching started off as, oh shit, I've got these issues going on. I need to make some extra money. Well, I've been helping people for a couple of years. Let me start charging people to coach. And then I realized that it kind of came by way of necessity. And then it kind of fell into, oh shit, this is a lot of fun. And then it became, I had, an issue with a job and moved to Houston. 7 months after being there, they were relocating. I couldn't move. And it's like, hey, it's time to shit or get off the pot. And I'm fortunate enough to have the opportunity provided by Kendall and the rest of my support structure to take a chance, like we talked about in that last podcast. Take a risk. I'm not 50-1 guy. I just want to go for it. So I really think that's it kind of chose me.
Very good. Very cool. That's a neat perspective. What are you most afraid of?
Snakes in the pool, as we discussed a couple of podcasts ago.
Doubt. I'm good. I'm real good.
Done here. I will be coming to an athlete.
There are too many fears. I'm good.
There are things that I fear that are tangible, and there are things that I fear that aren't tangible. And like, for instance, I fear not being a good example for my kids. I fear my kids walking down the same path I did. However, I know they're going to step on some of the same stones I stepped on. But for me, that's a big fear, is not providing my kids the foundation and structure to go and be successful, to go and be their own, whoever they're going to end up being. And I fear not giving them every tool I possibly can. Now, is it possible for a parent to provide everything for their kids so they never make a mistake. No, I want my kids to make mistakes. I want my kids to learn. I want my kids to grow. And so for me, that's a big fear of mine, is not providing what I can provide to help them. Another fear is drowning. And that's a very true, real fear that I do have. I love swimming. I truly enjoy swimming, but I think drowning is kind of a shitty way to go out. I think there's no doubt. It's a shitty way to go out, but yeah, I don't.
How does that influence you?
It motivates me to want to learn to swim better.
Okay.
It motivates me in my professional side of things because I want to remove that fear from people. And if I can't remove it, to help them overcome it, because I coped with it for a long time. But for me, I'm both stubborn and stupid. And mom always told me, if you're going to be stupid, you got to be tough. Right.
Yeah.
And, for me, it was like, all right, well, I'm going to get in this pool and swim. I'm either going to do it or I'm going to die trying. And, from that aspect, it's for me, it's been a motivator. For some people, it can be crippling and pull you away from it. But for me, it's a motivator of, all right, you got to get better at this. You don't get an option,
Right.
So that's probably the actual tangible fear that I have.
It sounds like to me part of your, if I can rephrase what you said, part of your ability to move through that fear is helping others move through theirs.
Absolutely. I gain a lot of help for myself through helping others, because there are things, and you and I discussed this the other day, and I made a joke about it, but it's like, people who become psychologists, I think, have something they're trying to work through. And I'm not saying that like in a mean way. We all have things.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, you're an asshole. We're done here. Click. And so
I don't know if you know this, but you're running out of time.
Oh, and here we go. No, but for me, that's empowering, because I know that along this journey, I'm focusing on helping others. And I'm a big believer in whatever you put into the universe comes back around at some point in time. If you're a shithead, shout out. If you're a shithead and you do things for questionable motives or reasons, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. But if you're genuinely a good person that tries to find the good in all situations and do the best that you possibly can, then I think that you're putting out good stuff in the universe, and it keeps that kind of that positive ball rolling.
Law of attraction, genuineness drives progression.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, other things drive progression too, but not in the state in which most people want.
Right.
Good job. Very good. All right. Here's a little bit deeper one. What feels like love to you?
All right. That's a good one. So for me, I've been through a couple of relationships in my life, at least one or two, and yes, Craig, they were with females. And based on your comment earlier, and there will be some people that are happy about that. For me, love is a display. Love is I'm more of and you and I've discussed this. I'm more of a show me, don't tell me kind of person. If you're sorry, show me you're sorry. Don't tell me you're sorry. Because I think words without action are baseless. And so for me, love is physical touch. And I'm not talking like, with a spouse or anything. I'm talking hugging my kids. Like, to me, that displays love, because as a kid, mom hugged and kissed me all the time, and so I knew I received that from her. And that's like, if I'm a hugger. I'm that random guy in the group that'll walk up, just met somebody, and I'll just give them a hug. That's just how I express, hey, welcome. And I think you and I are kind of similar on this. It's like, when I see you, shit, I'll give you a full-on man hug. I'm not scared, right? That's how I display. I thought somebody was clapping. That was her cheeks flopping.
Right here beside me. Yeah.
I'm like, what are you clapping now? And so for me, it's a showing. It's a display. Okay. Is what love is.
What's it feel like though? Do you feel like is it like a warming? Do you feel just?
Yeah, it's warm. It's welcoming. It's inviting. It's all those like positive things that make you feel wanted, I guess, essentially. And it's just like that. We had a little get together in Shreveport with my athletes there, and it's not just in a relationship type or in a like a husband, wife, or spouse type relationship that I'm referring to love and talk about it in all terms. You know, I'm very much a believer in, you know, everybody needs to be loved, right? And we were at the little get together in Shreveport, and I felt having that group around me, people that have trusted me to lead them on their journeys, and having, you know, people there that wanted to become part of our family. And that's what we are as a family. And so to me, that felt like love. Like everybody's there supporting each other. It was warm. It was inviting. Everybody is open. Nobody is judgmental. Like to me, that's what love is. And that's exactly how I feel when I get together with like team camps and things like that, is that kind of openness and accepting of, hey, you're you and I love you.
All right. What age do you feel right now and why? Oh,
shit. It's funny because
I know what you look.
Yeah, I know, right? Let me see. Is there one of those little masks for that? So I went to
pattern baldness.
it's you see it there. It's slow sliding back. I try to offset it with the height of the mohawk.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know the year age that I feel. I'll tell you now, I don't want to be a teenager again. Hell with that. I don't even want to be in my early 20s again. Hell with that. But I realized that I've gotten to a point in my life to where it's not that I don't care. It's just I'm me. If you like me, cool. If you don't like me, cool. That's fine too. And I went to Kendall's boys had some Christmas parties, and I told her oldest one, I said, I'm gonna dress up and I'm gonna come to class and I'm gonna embarrass you for this Christmas party, because I'm fortunate enough to where I get to go and support them in those things. And so I put on like this freaking like Santa hat and these reindeer little bobblehead ears, and I don't know, I had a shirt that says I'm on the good list, and then like a pair of tall like striped socks. And I show up, and we're at this elementary school. He's in first grade, and there's a lobby full of parents that are going back for this party, and I'm the only adult dressed up. And I'm standing there looking around like, ah, damn. I'm the only adult dressed up, and I'm like, either A, I look like an idiot, or B, I'm a lot of fun. And so as soon as they let us go back, I beeline for the class. I was the first to the door, and I just walked through the door. I just screamed, "Merry Christmas!" And I had a bag full of kolaches, and all the kids loved it. And so for me, I'm at a point in my life where I'm okay with who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. And so I would say that's probably what my kids, if you ask my kids, that's what they love the most, is that I am a kid. Like I am just a big kid. I ate donuts and Pop-Tarts for breakfast. Like I'm just a kid. I'm a almost 32-year-old kid. And so for me, whatever age that is, 8, 10, perfect. Good with that. So
very, very good. That's very, very well said. And then your last one, which you kind of hit on already, but what is your purpose in life?
I think my life purpose changes as I go through life, and as I become more skillful in things. And I'm not talking like tangible skills. I'm talking just like learning things and growing. I think my purpose is to continue to help my kids succeed and put them on the path towards wherever they're headed to. Everybody's journey is going to be different, but my purpose is to find a way every single day to make those around me better. Whether it's the athletes, whether it's Kendall, whether it's you, whether it's my kids, whether it's the random person at the grocery store that I just said Merry Christmas to. I find, and this is my theory, is that everyone in life is placed in your path for a reason.
Yep.
Some people are meant to be there for a brief second. Some people are meant to be there for years or a month or whatever. It's your job to figure out why. And so I believe that my purpose is to figure out why those people around me are in my life. Why a year ago you started writing the blog for me and now we're doing this. Like, what's the purpose of that? Why? It's crazy. And I think that my purpose is to find a way every day to make someone's life around me that much better, whether it's brighter, happier, whatever it ends up being. It's kind of my purpose. It goes back to that whole putting good things out. I put it out because it makes me feel good. I do things because it makes me feel good. This is something Kendall and I've discussed. I will do a gesture, not in return for something. I do a gesture because it makes me feel good.
Right.
Well, does that make me selfish because I'm doing it because it makes me feel good? I don't think so. I think it's kind of like a byproduct. I do something good, I get a good feeling, everybody wins, right? So,
right. And it's one of those too, probably where you it's not that you're looking for recognition. It's not like you're going to go to Facebook every time you do a good deed and tell the world about it. You those are internalized. You've got the external world where everybody's saying you did a good job, you're such a great person, but then it's the you in you that says, Jeremy,
I did a good job.
You're a good person,
right?
And you mean well.
And and there are days that comes and goes. There are days where you feel like, man, I'm a great person. There's days you're like, what the hell am I doing? Yeah. What happened? And so you kind of gotta ride those peaks and valleys. So, but at the end of the day, I think you should be net positive on all that.
Sure. Well, I think that's a kind of here we have wrapped up the questions for people to have. Hopefully, we'll answer some of their questions about you, but also, you made a point. This started, the first of the year with I was writing life coaching blogs, and then you asked me to do a Mind Right Monday blog, so I started doing that. And next thing you know, it's evolved into this. Here we have over 4,000 downloads of our podcast, and
it's just mind-boggling.
I know. People want to listen to us, and we've got these emails from people who love what we do, and that to me, that means the world. I mean, it really does. This thing literally cost us money. We pay time, and there's actually cost with posting the stuff on our accounts and getting it all out to the world. But it's such a small fee, really, for the lives that we touch. And every time, that's why we love those emails.
Oh, dude,
I love to hear from you. And it's the neatest thing to hear these emails where people say they can, how much they've learned from us, or how much just hanging out with two guys, basically, all right, mate. We basically are on this main voyage of life, and how we can find a better way to perceive the things that we're looking at, and to make life what we want it to make it. And as Jeremy's over here making crazy faces, I'm trying to be flipping serious, cat in the hat with no eye. But anyway, that's Jeremy. Anything else you want to tell people before we?
No, the thing is that
nice headband.
Shout out Google. I don't like he's giving me the freaking eye patch. I don't know what the hell's up with that.
Maybe it's telling you something.
At the end of the day, one thing that you and I do not do well is talk about ourselves. Yeah. I think for us, and I'll speak for both of us because I don't really give a shit what you have to say about it. But I think collectively for us, it is one of those things to where somehow we were put into this position for a reason. And you kind of hit on a minute ago when you said, what I was going to say for us is that we get excited when we get that reply. Like that's humbling. And it took me a while to appreciate that people do want to hear what I have to say. People do want to hear what we have to say, even though we get on here and it's fun. And we laugh, we joke, and I wear this stupid headband and this mustache is. And so we get on here and seems like goofing off, right? But we're serious. Like we love this. And there have been times to where you and I have miscommunicated. We can't connect. We miss a posting opportunity, and it's frustrating for you and for me both. And but I think at the end of the day, we continue to fight and work together and push through, because at the end of the day, this is all good stuff that we really truly are passionate about. We really truly love, and it's just like coaching for me, and just like your life coaching, or your mental coaching. It's something to where the reward is not measurable in something physical. It's not measurable in the money that comes in. It's not measurable in the Christmas gifts that your athletes or people send you. It's measurable in the fact that someone can look at you and say, you helped me.
Right.
You made me better. You showed me a way to do something that I never thought I could do. And for me, that is my ultimate driver. And unfortunately, passion doesn't pay the bills, or I would be, I'd have all my bills paid off. So we have to create a business on it. But at the end of the day, I don't count the dollars that come in each month as, hey, this is my profit. My profit is stepping away and you saying, dude, you check out that email we just got? Check that out. I look at that and I'm like, holy shit, that's why we struggle and we find these times and we crunch this time and we put together, and you do all your editing stuff and I'm doing the video editing stuff now. that's why we do it. So at the end of the day, that's the ultimate driving force, I believe, for both of us. I mean, we do it out. It's a labor of love, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling you get from helping one individual is it's beyond something that we can comprehend. It's not even, it's a feeling, and I've said this many times, it's a feeling that you don't get even from your own children. It's just a different feeling. It's a different nerve that it hits when someone says, things are better because of something you allowed me to understand. Like I said, it's not, I don't get into the world of teaching you how to be different. I present a different perspective just for you to think about. Right. And if it so happens to make you do things differently and better, then that's great. But I look for one. If I can just help one person, just one, I feel like all the hard work, all the effort is worth its weight in gold. And that's a genuine, that's just to the core of who I am. And as long as I can continue to do these, long as
we'll get into that soon, son. You're on the hot seat next.
But I think again there's so much of the world to recognize is not always as we see it. It's not. You can have the same conversation with two different people and get two different outcomes. So it's just hitting that right button for someone to make them want to question their own belief. And the next thing you know, they're right. And we've even had people, athletes of ours and friends that say, all this podcast, you never talk about yourself. And there's a reason. It's not really about us. we do suck at it because we're not here for us, but yet we are here for us. I mean, we help we help ourselves by helping you. And we don't think about that because we're here to help you.
Well, and you said it last podcast too, is that never did I think that just by doing this and us having open communication, we have a couple of things we disagree on or think differently on. Don't disagree.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But never did I think that I could come into this and I could take away and grow. Just like you said earlier, you're like, yeah, I learned. I'm like, holy shit, I taught you something. Like as we're going, it was an accident, But it's that thing to where we come into it openly. There's no judgment between us. There's absolutely no reservations whatsoever, other than we're both fighting the same fight, looking for the same way to help people, and we can go back and forth off each other. So for me, and you ask me all these questions, I'd be interested to see if any of my current athletes don't already know the things that I said in that, because one thing I am is very transparent. I'm an open book. Yeah. You want to know? Simply ask. There's nothing. I have nothing to hide. I am who I am because I am who I am. Yeah. And so it'd be interesting to see if we can get any comments back, or maybe people have other questions. I'd love to field other questions. Doesn't matter to me, but I think that we do suck at talking about ourselves. And luckily, we've got a good group of people we've worked with that are willing to go to bat for us, because I can't sit here and tell you I'm the best coach for reasons X, Y, and Z. Because I'm just going to say, I'm a good coach and I can help you, but I may not be the best coach. And same thing for you. You're not like, oh, CraigWillard's the most awesome ever, mental coach, blah, blah, blah. We don't talk well about ourselves. But I think that by doing these couple of podcasts that are interviewing each other, we'll kind of let people see, wow, these are two real dudes who are genuine and are fortunate enough to get to do something they're passionate about. That's what I hope people take away.
Yeah, I think those are pretty good words. I don't think I even really want to back up with anything else to say other than thank you for your time. Thank you for, and for me, thank you for doing this. I mean, this was a joint venture, and it wasn't.
You're gonna make me cry. and we can't even. We're not even in the same room to bro hug.
I know, bro hug.
There'll be no closure to this one.
But it's just been it's been good. It is nice to, I think, have these conversations and recognize too, just as our athletes should, that where we've come, where we've the path we've taken. I believe in a life of service.
Yes.
I don't just say it. I actually mean it, and that's will drive me for the rest of my life. Period. Yeah. But it took me a long time to get there. Let me tell you. I'll talk about all that stuff when the questions come my direction. But anyway, thanks so much, Jeremy. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
listeners. Thanks so much. Thanks for allowing us to get over that 4,000 mark, and we hope that you continue to listen to us.
Every time you say 4,000, I'm going to hit that button.
That's right. So every
It's like a drinking
4,000. And so if you want to get a hold of us, performanceondemandpodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on performanceondemand.net. If you want to get a hold of Jeremy over there at mindrightmultisport.com or me at u-discover.com. You can also find us on all your podcast apps, iTunes, Stitcher, blah, 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 blah. What is the other one? Podcast Addict, whatever.
Subscribe to YouTube,
subscribe
please.
to YouTube video to
We'll
see
have
the
good stuff
stupid stuff that we do. We would greatly
headband?
appreciate your support. Your head, yeah, in your hearts, sweet hearts above your head. That's it for us. Thanks a lot. Take care, and we will talk to you soon.
Later.